And we are on the Red Pill News tonight. The Red Pill News. Bow. No blue pills are allowed here. Only if you're willing to learn. Not the ones who report you, though. Those people reporting. I don't like what you say. I'm going to report you. You get that on Facebook, and then Facebook listens and they ban people. It's like this crazy environment. Now you got Elon Musk looking to buy all of Twitter so he can just change it and stop their whole, what they do. They stop free people's right of free speech, and private corporations, United States of America, technically speaking, don't have to pay attention to the Bill of Rights, which is crazy since they function and operate within the United States of America. That the whole Bill of Rights thing was more meant for the government, but it has its limitations. So when it comes to content and free speech, or even telling the truth, these private corporations don't have to, and if they don't want to allow it, you're using their service, right? Only if you can prove that there's some kind of has a public interest where so many people are using something that's become a form of communication. Then they just have to start toting the rules, which is what Facebook is going through now. That's why they keep going to court and all that stuff. So anyway, you see, I love Elon Musk. I gotta say, man, you know what I mean? I have to applaud Elon Musk. He's my hero. He's the guy who's the billionaire who's using his money for good and not evil. Even if it's a little evil, still some good. As long as the good outweighs the evil, I like to be balanced. So he's out there doing his thing. Uh, the world, you see what's going on. I don't have to tell you what's going on. There's global positioning happening now. You have countries, Russia, China, getting together with all the other nations that either hate us or can't stand us or don't care about us, like India. No surprise that India is just kind of toting the line with Russia, and that's where they get most of their fuel from. You know, and we've done so much for India. We've done so much for people from India who have come here to the United States and been successful and brought their families here. And there's just, there should be some kind of level of gratitude from one country to the other. But, but if you ask me, of course, I'm going to say that doesn't exist, not in that realm anyway. So it really comes down to taking sides and whose interest is best where. Now you see China supplying Russia with weapons through Serbia. They, dropped off a whole bunch saying, "Oh, it's normal. It's normal." I love the lies. You know what I mean? And I love it when people believe the lies. It's even funnier when you hear people in this government who should know better, and then they say, "Well, we're waiting to see if Putin's telling the truth or if Xi Jinping does this, whatever." You have to realize that these people want to see you dead. They don't care about anything but that. If they want to rise, or if China wants to become the world power, which is what they're striving to do, and they're going to piggyback off of Russia and all the crap that they're doing, let me tell you, man, it's one thing. This is the really funny part. As for me, as a political analyst, and also I'm into strategy, 100%. And I'm going to look at these countries that they have what we would like to call beer muscles, where they think they're more powerful than they really are until someone whaps them in the face and they realize that now they're on their butt and they don't really have much of a recourse. So that's what you have going on with China and also Russia. They think because they have the numbers and they have this equipment and whatever, it's going to be advantageous to them. So, but obviously it's not working out well for especially for Russia. The These countries aren't typically known for making good weapons, not typically known for making good aircraft. I mean, they both lie, cheat, and steal as much as they can to get by. China put a video out of their aircraft and how great they are. They took a movie, what was that? Top Gun, and they took excerpts out of Top Gun and made that into their Chinese aircraft, and people were laughing their asses off. Or when Russia came out with that robot that could do anything and play soccer, and it turns out there was a dude inside. You know what I mean? And you can actually see parts of them. This is what they're all about. You know. But then you have unbalanced knee jerk reaction actors, and it's always been my supposition that, the whole Ukraine thing wasn't because Putin wanted Ukraine, is because of they're making their move on the world. Russia, China, are making their move, right, as best as possible. So, unfortunately, I think that, Putin was going to run in there and most people say it's going to be a 4 or 5 day war and whatever. Yeah, if you believe the hype, and I played into it too in the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I didn't think the Ukraine would fight back because it wasn't their interest per se. I thought that maybe they could have handled it politically down the road and gotten the Ukraine back, instead of destroying the entire country. To me, that made more sense. But these guys have put up a fight, and their country's been flattened, basically, much of it anyway. You got lots of atrocities, I mean, if you're paying attention to it, I don't have to tell you, but the worst possible stuff you can even imagine. Now they got this new general, this new Russian general in there because they killed all the other ones. The Ukrainians killed all the other ones, right? And they got this new guy in there, and he's like they call him the butcher, and he did this in Syria and whatever, man. You know what? I'm giving him till Tuesday that he's going to get blown up. This coming Tuesday, if he gets blown up, I win the pool, the Russian dead pool. So, but the Ukrainians blew up one of their ships. So Russia had one of three of these missile ships. They had missiles, torpedoes, all the stuff they got. Right? It was the same ship that threatened the Ukrainian dude at that bridge and said, you will give up and we would kill you. The guy's like, "F you," and they blew him up. Right? The Ukrainians blew that ship up today and sunk it. They sunk it, blew it up. 600 sailors on there, Russian sailors. So Russia's getting these. What's happening is weird, and this is the best strategy. The Biden thing, he doesn't know what he's doing. Obviously, the guy doesn't even know where the hell he is. And when he's in front of a camera, I don't know how many drugs they pump him up with, but it's probably a lot just to keep him straight. He has no business sense. Kamala Harris has no business sense. You really do need a president that's got some kind of business sense, because that's what the world is these days. It's about dollars and understanding future earnings and things like that and all that, right? Anyway, let's just throw that out there. But you have very weak people. They're weak actors, which is why Putin's doing this, which is why Xi Jinping is doing this. They're making their move, and it's going to happen incrementally. And this is what we're seeing. But the losses that Russia is serving, it's one thing to lose a tank or two, a couple soldiers, maybe a colonel or even a general in the war. It's another thing to lose thousands of tanks, like thousands of soldiers. I mean, half a dozen generals. Those dudes, few weeks back, they were sitting there on their private island somewhere, right? Drinking vodka, eating caviar, having a good life with their mistresses, and now they're dead. They're gone in a grave, maybe a mass grave, or who the hell knows, because they went and did this, with no rhyme or reason. But I also tend to think that this is part of a purge. If Putin is in step with history, this is exactly what happened 100 years ago. Exactly what happened. And if he's in step with history, he has, he's purging the ranks, getting rid of all the bad soldiers, getting rid of all the bad stuff. Russia's got over 2 million acting soldiers. They only put about 160,000 in that region, and a lot of them were they're not really combat ready troops in my estimation. So anyway, all that, I'm going to say this. Let's cut to the chase. Because of the things that are happening, you're going to see something significant happen on April 20th in 6 days. Something unbelievably significant, and it's going to step up the game for everybody. But as long as we hold the course and keep supplying the Ukraine with these defensive weapons, it's also, these weapons manufacturers, they get to see what all their little junk does, and they can advertise later on this was used in combat, because usually they invent these things and it doesn't really get used in combat, so to speak. Even Russia firing a couple of those hypersonic missiles, and nobody even cared, and they didn't even have a huge payload. It was just another damn missile that just did it to do it. They've got to be really stressing it, though. Even I know they're selling oil, but they're not selling a ton of oil. They have to be really stressing it because their financial markets are starting to tank. The ruble apparently is doing well. Depends on who you ask. But Russia's done for. I mean, and the world economy of all these other countries, they're never going to want to deal with them unless they just have to do it for the oil. I think America right now is feeling vulnerable. You know, I think it's just a, if I were they, I know what I would do, and I know how the U.S. would react. So, if they're going to go that route and make their move, I don't think anybody in this country is truly ready. Especially you have a lot of I don't know, just a lot of weak leadership on different levels. You know what I mean? So that's the interesting part, man. So I don't know. There's always Jamaica. You know what I mean? Go down and serve drinks to people. Doesn't matter who they are, Russian, American. I don't care. Here, I don't know. It's a crazy world, man, and it depends on where you find yourself at any given time. So, Eric Adams, I like the guy. He's the mayor of New York. He's got a lot of crap on his plate. He doesn't have much of an agenda, and he really should. But there was a shooting the other day. This wacko. The wackos are out there because the mental institutions have been shuttered. They've been closed, basically. They ran out of money to take care of the wackos. So they give them meds. Here's your meds. They let them loose in the street. And then the wackos are out there forming their ideas. So this particular wacko, this Frank James, who went to the subway. I don't know what his plan was. He had smoke grenades, like he bought like they're fireworks. He had a Glock 9mm, pretty old, with extension magazines, and even that thing jammed up. And luckily it jammed up. He got over 30 shots off, but these extension magazines have a lot. And I guess he went to Ohio years ago to buy it, which you don't need a license. Back then, you didn't need a license to get a handgun there, that type of thing. So whatever. He was a wacko. So, but online, this guy was ranting about how much he hated white people, all this other racial crap, and how much he hated the mayor, and he's going to kill people. And this is on YouTube, and not for nothing. I know people that get suspended off of YouTube for talking about COVID-19 or abortions, or there's things that people talk about that they get banned or suspended, or they get, you know, where they, how many X's you get kicked off. So this guy went nuts. He went nuts. He was already nuts. He goes on the train and thinks that he shot a bunch of people. I don't think any of them died, luckily. You know, and not good to get shot to begin with. That's for sure. He puts on a gas mask, throws out a smoke grenade, and starts shooting into the smoke. I mean, whatever. He eventually called the police on himself. He was sitting in a McDonald's hours later and called the police on himself and Crime Stoppers, and they came and got him. You know, they acted like that was the best police work. Adams got on there. We got him. NYPD police work. What do you mean? The guy turned himself in. You got to be pretty hard up to start claiming things like that. You know, they did find the van. They found the things that are attached to him. The guy left his credit card behind and the gun at the scene, and also the keys to the van. He wasn't trying to get away. He was just some wacko who went nuts, not even thinking out what he did. And these are the ticking time bombs. On the show here, we talk about these ticking time bombs. These are the ticking time bombs. And I talked about it as it was going to lead up this year, and between COVID, between this war crap, all of these things, people can't process it. They can't handle it. There's no day off from this madness. It's just constant. Everywhere you look, everything you talk to is just more of this nonsense. It's chaos, right? Although there are people who thrive in chaos, like me. I am one of those people, because things don't affect me as much. I've already been through a lot of crap. You know what I mean? When you get to a certain point, the things that affect you are become few and far between. And it really comes down to there's nothing new under the sun. This carnage going on, it's happened before on the earth. All this sad stuff happening and people being destroyed, all it's happened before on the earth, you know, and you would think that people would get beyond it, but they don't, right? So, but this is why I like Mayor Adams. I like him because he seems pretty real. I know he's in a high political role, and he really he's got COVID-19, as a matter of fact. And Joe Montaldo from UPR has got COVID-19 out there in California, man. Goes out there for these award shows, gets some COVID-19. I'll tell you, it's coming back with a vengeance, and you wear your masks and doing your hands and not deviate from the plan. I don't want to hear that crap. That we can take our mask off now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's just say in New York City right now, there are two subvariants to this B2, the second version of Omicron. Two subvariants to that are causing trouble and getting around people's immune systems and also vaccines. So that's pretty scary. Anyway, Eric Adams rips Black Lives Matter anti cop activists after a night of New York City shootings. And it's not just a night. And you see the whole Black Lives Matter thing going on. They bought a mansion for 6 million. 2 days earlier, the mansion was 3 million. Then this guy doubled the price and gave it to them. Yeah. Oh, they don't understand why. That's again the media, right? We don't know why they would do that. Yeah, it's called money laundering. It's be called taking money that's supposed to be campaign donations and turning it into usable cash, so these people can use it. They're not Chelsea Clinton. They can't just access the Clinton Foundation and use the money for what they want. These are different, but Black Lives Matter has collected billions of dollars, billions with a B. They're running around buying mansions, right? What have they done for black people? I want to see the track record, man. I want to see what they've actually done, because I know that the regular old people out there, they're not moving into these mansions, So it's just another BS group using people to make money, just using people, right? So anyway, Mayor Eric Adams slammed Black Lives Matter and anti-police activists Wednesday after a night of bloodshed across the city that left more than a dozen people shot. Where are all who stated Black Lives Matter? Adams said. Where are all those who stated Black Lives Matter? Do an analysis of who was killed or shot last night. I was up all night speaking to my commanders in the Bronx and Brooklyn. The victims were black, the mayor said. 3 people were killed and at least 13 others were wounded in a series of shootings that rocked parts of the Bronx and Brooklyn late Tuesday, early Wednesday, police said, and sources said. The fatalities include a 23-year-old woman and 2 men, 22 and 21, all killed in the separate Bronx shootings. At least 5 other shootings were reported in New York City during a roughly 6-hour span. All right. The mayor said those who protest against police brutality should also acknowledge the scourge of gun violence. The lives of these black children that are dying every night matters, Adams said. We can't be hypocrites. You know what? I love that. I love that. You have a politician who is talking the truth. This dude is for real. He's saying things that in the liberal sense is very unpopular. When that shooter went off shooting people, the liberal media refused to mention the guy was black in his description. So here's a bolo. Be on the lookout for they refuse to say a black guy because they think that's racist to say what somebody is. Oh, if a white person does something, they lambast you, and of course you're guilty of all kinds of hate crimes, no matter what you do, right? So that's what the liberal media has become. It's become this just horrible machine of hate and race bait and hate bait, and people are getting away from that. Why do you think CNN has the lowest ratings? And look who they've gotten rid of. Look who's on air. Look at those people. I mean, really, oh, Mad Cow, what happened to Rachel Mad Cow? They got rid of her, and now they're bringing her back for one day a week on Mondays. Mondays is the kiss of death. If you're on a Monday, if you're only on one day a week and it's a Monday, you may as well not be on. That's embarrassing. But this dude Adams, I think that the guy's for real, and I think that he wants to clean up the city, and I'm all for it. And he's starting to put his finger on the pulse of what the true problems are in the city, right? And he's sitting there with COVID-19. Even those idiots on Fox like this, some people who are real. There are people on Fox that I could take. There are people on Fox I don't like. But you know what I mean, 90% of what they do is anti-democrat, just like those other channels are anti-republican, and you can't get a true sense of anything out of these people because they're so agenda oriented. But they're like saying oh, he has COVID, and because on Fox, I guess they don't believe in COVID. They don't believe in masks. I've heard people on there saying masks don't work. Masks don't work, really. And I'm here to tell you they do. And I do my research. I mean, obviously they work to a certain percentage, to a certain degree, and not anything is 100%, effective, really. So unless you're in some kind of biological suit, right, with a separate breathing system, man. So whatever. You're always going to have ignorant bastards, always, always. Which is why I stopped watching Fox a few years back, a couple years back, whatever it was, when they put that Democratic operative on. Right? She was terrible. And oh my God, the one who helped Hillary. I don't remember what the hell her name is now. I blocked her out of my brain completely. I'm getting good at that. Either that or I'm getting old. Whatever. It's one of those things. So, but now they got people like Harold Ford on. I like how Harold Ford. He used to be a Democrat, politician. He was a senator or whatever. And I liked him. I think he's very well balanced. I always thought he'd actually be a good president. They got Geraldo on there. I like Geraldo. He's all right. So, but you're always going to have the naysayers and people who act so like these things are so ridiculous. They don't even exist, and that's what gets me. That they've all in the beginning, Trump said COVID was a hoax, a Democratic hoax. He recant. He can't deny it. I watched him say it. That it was just a Democratic media hoax and that type of thing. So, and then he got real about it when you see people start dropping dead. That usually is what happens. So anyway, with all the stress in the world, how do you feel about being Johnny Depp? If you're Johnny Depp, now people have their opinions about Johnny Depp. I don't know him personally, so I can't tell you what kind of person he is. Is he out of control? Is he out of control with his spending? Whatever. It's none of my business what he does with his money, or whatever. My only thing is he was with a woman named Amber Heard. In their relationship, she alleged abuse, not by name. This is the kind of interesting thing here. She said that she was in an abusive relationship. This is after she was out of the relationship with him. She was in an abusive relationship. Then she posts photographs of her face all beaten up and swollen and all that, right? But she didn't say that he did it, and never said didn't say that he was hitting her and doing all this other stuff. So when they got divorced, it was supposed to be he was going to give her $9 million. She said it wasn't about the money because she was going to donate most of the money, right? And it turned from that into this abuse thing, into this dude suing her for false claims for $50 million, and then her suing him for $100 million. You see what marriage gets you? The thing about it, if you don't get married, really married, if you don't get married, you don't have to deal with any of this. And that's why so many people are anti-marriage these days. Guys are. Anyway, men are, not women. All right, so Amber Heard verbally abused her assistant and paid her very poorly. The former employee testified. So they got this court case. Now it's being televised. It's in front of the whole world, of course, and all now you're hearing all the dirt from both of these people. No. Of course, Amber Heard treats people like crap. Of course, that everybody knows that about her. She's a terrible person. She treats people like garbage. She's also happy to lie to get people in trouble, right? You know how easy it is for a female to say, he hit me, and then have cops drag the guy away. That's it. As easy as that. And then the guy has got to jump through all the fire hoops to get away from that type of thing. It's as easy as that. And what you're starting to see now in our society are these men fighting back and the women losing, and it's making other women look bad because, yeah, there are women who are truly abused. There's also men who are abused. So it it's like, it's like anything. If you overuse it, over abuse it, you're going to lose it. It's that simple, right? So let's see, personal assistant to the stars, Kate James, worked for Heard from 2012 to 2015 and gave biting testimony via deposition on the third day of the explosive case. She described Heard as a very dramatic boss who only paid her $25 an hour. Ain't that bad. About half her usual rate, IRS, if you're listening. She also said a very insecure Heard who got mad anytime she talked to Depp, berated James in a blind rage, and regularly sent her a barrage of abusive text messages between 2 and 4 a.m. You know what? I know someone exactly like that. Exactly. My God, this is scary. She even claimed Heard verbally abused her family members, saying her poor sister was treated like a dog that you kicked, basically. Ugh. The ex-employee said she never saw Heard with a black eye, broken nose, bumps, bruises, or swelling, and speculated the age gap between the former couple might have been the cause of some of their now infamous marital trouble. James disdains for Heard's lawyer was also apparent in deposition as it left the courtroom laughing and the judge calling for order. There you go. Here's Johnny. Ooh, Johnny Depp looks like crapola. Everybody ages, but this dude's aging hard now. He drinks a lot and whatever. I'll tell you, the drinking, the drugs, the horrible marriage. Look at the face that she's making. Ugh. All for what? Well, for 50 or $100 million, that's what's for. Depp, who is 58 years old, is seeking 50 million in damages. Shouldn't he do like a million for every year of his age? Like, he should be like 58 million. Heard 35, she'd be like 35 million. Who he claims defamed him when she wrote in the 2018 Washington Post op-ed that she was a victim of sexual violence. While Depp wasn't named in the op-ed, the actor claims it ruined his reputation and career after it was widely assumed that Heard was writing about their 5-year relationship. And that's all you need. Just people assume it and you're done. You're canceled. It's the cancel culture. I think all the people who are canceled should get together and have a whole different thing. You know what I mean? I'd rather hang out with canceled because they seem cooler. Dave Chappelle, canceled by the cancel culture. Who are these people? Canceling them. Not me. If they're bad, sure. you know, I think these people are what they are. If you expect all kinds of good stuff out of them, I think you're expecting too much. You don't really quite understand Hollywood. Meanwhile, James called Depp a total gentleman and very kind, adding that the Black Mass actor, must be some of his movie, would always go out of his way to be nice to her son. Last movie I saw with Johnny Depp was one of those pirate ones. And he was good in the pirate movies. He was fine. He's actually a really good actor. I'll tell you. I know that he's played so many different roles. And I've heard him talk about what he does before he gets into the character and how what he likes to project and what he thinks. This guy's a real actor. You know, most people in Hollywood, they're not actors. They just the kids of the famous people, right? And they become actors. Charlie Sheen, he's not an actor. He's just his own personality. You know, they write things for his personality, right? Which is a derelict. So it's easy to write for him. James testified under oath that her experience working in a troubled, underpaid, and abusive work environment during her employment was misheard. She never once saw anything related to allegations of physical violence between the two. All right, if you're unhappy in your job, quit. If she's getting paid half of what she normally gets paid, then what is she doing? Charity work for Amber Heard? Why the hell do you want to be around them anyway? Go out and get your $50 an hour somewhere else, right? So let's see. Nobody ever suffered. Let's see. She said the two. She said, in fact, suffered her own various forms of abuse at the hands of Amber. So, and yeah, apparently that she would hit Johnny Depp all the time. He was the one getting beaten up. You know something? With these young girls, man, they're the ones who are very attractive and wealthy. They get whatever they want on a silver platter. They have like most of them have no morals, no nothing. They're just blank. And they're little princesses. If they don't get what they want, they'll strike out, they'll hit people and whatever. Dudes, they're stabbing people. Look at this case with this girl, this another one of your Instagram girls stabbing her boyfriend. It's her Nigerian boyfriend, killing him. What they say? All the cops were always there. They were always fighting, but they said that they've never seen the guy hit her. I think only one person may have said that thus far, but mainly it was her striking out. That's another one, right? Now they're saying that it was self defense. She's in a mental institution for a short time. Self defense. She will be out there naked again with some other dude having sex. I mean, that's what she does. She does like, what are they called? Uh, like not professional porn, whatever, amateur porn, that type of thing. But she does it on Instagram, that whatever their paid service, right? And it's creating these monsters. It's creating these people that these girls that think they could do whatever they want to do, and it's girls. It's not. You don't see the men doing this stuff. It's the women, so that they had that other one who stabbed her boyfriend a bunch of times, and she just previous to that, she smashed a bottle of wine over her cousin's head and then messed her up, didn't get arrested for that, and then even this one who stabbed the guy in the neck, she crashed a car in Texas, paid her way out of that, right? And then got another DWI in Texas, man. These people are out of control. So, all right, that's my rant on creating monsters. And they get, you know what? They get what they get. And anybody who's with them, they get what they get. Right? All right. So I don't know if I want to read any more of this crap. Let me see. Anything good? So let's see. I don't know. We'll go back to that. Okay. In the Fairfield, Virginia court on Thursday, at least four officers surrounded one Depp fan. Of course, the fans are going nuts. Escorted her out, barring her from re entering the courtroom. She is the second fan to be banned from watching the trial. Because it's, of course, a kangaroo court, man. After James testified, the jury heard from Dr. Laurel Anderson, the former couple's Los Angeles based marriage counselor, who deposed once you're at the marriage counselor, it's over. You just walk away before you get to the marriage counselor because if you've got problems like that at that point, especially that soon, just go, man. Just go. Go find something else going to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Get a dog, something like that. Something is gonna be happy when you come home. Okay, and I know Johnny Depp has dogs, so the doctor says they engaged in what I saw as mutual abuse. Anderson said, explaining that both had upbringings marred by abuse, and the two often triggered one another. Yeah, time to go. bad mix, bad. Notably, Anderson, who saw the couple in 2015, 2016, for 2 whole years, maybe one year, said she saw multiple bruises on Heard's face in person during a solo session that she had with the actress. During the couple session, Heard often interrupted Depp and spoke over him, and the actor walked out of sessions on more than one occasion. Still, it was a point of pride to Heard, as if she felt disrespected, to initiate a fight. If he was going to leave her to de escalate the fight, she would strike him to keep him there. She would rather be in a fight to keep him there. Ugh. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. The clock strikes midnight. Cuckoo. That's the thing. When they hit you, you gotta go, man. They're using their hands on you, you gotta go. You know, you can't be in it. It's very hard for a guy to call a police officer and say, my girlfriend's beating me up. My wife is hitting me, hurting me. So, I mean, years ago it was unheard of. These days, some people do it, but it happens more often as women become more violent. I'm seeing a surge in violence. As women become more violent, they get the green light to act batshit crazy. And then not only that, they get support from the batshit crazy community. Yeah. Anyway, you're gonna see this trial go on and on and on. Who knows what's gonna happen? It's all about these guys. It's not even about the money. It's them airing their dirty laundry against one another. You know, and that's what you can expect. That's not just Amber Heard. That's a lot of people right there. you know. So here's it. Talking about batshit crazy. Here's the death of the chill girl myth, why women no longer hide being batshit crazy. Because it's a thing these days. Believe me, I'm attracted to crazy women. Nobody knows better than me, you know? Or they're attracted to me, or it's mutual. So I know batshit crazy. I can write the book. Yeah? Ellie Rowell has never been a so-called chill girl. She said, "I'm literally batshit crazy." The 23-year-old New Yorker told the Post, like, who cares? You know who cares? The poor shrub that she's going to end up with being batshit crazy. Rallo declared the once trendy chill girl persona, a girl who's just one of the boys and doesn't dare vocalize her feelings, officially over in a now viral TikTok clip, which has amassed over 376,000 likes. It was cool to be that girl, minimalist and a polished and pretty clean girl aesthetic, said Rallo, who believes guys seek out chill girls. Because guys don't want a girl who's batshit crazy. You don't need